Combinations. The art of trampolining is not just to learn particularly difficult individual jumps, but also to combine several jumps with each other. Only when each jump is safely completed can a follow-on jump also be conducted safely. An error in a lead jump has grave knock-on effects for the follow-on jump and often even prevents it from being carried out. That's what makes jump combinations so difficult. Trampolining can be practiced as a leisure activity or competitive sport. A two-jump competition is offered as part of the German Gymnastics Federation competition schedule. This competition allows participants an open interpretation of the predetermined goals, meaning these can be fulfilled in a variety of ways. One example. In the compulsory exercise P1, participants must combine a seated landing and a full twist, in total in 2 jumps. There are 3 ways of doing this. The participant turns a full twist into the sitting position and then jumps into the standing position. The twist can also be divided up between the 2 jumps so that the participant conducts a half twist into the sitting position, followed by a half twist into the standing position. The third option is the most difficult, a seat drop, followed by a full twist into the standing position. If a participant conducts a seat drop, then a jump into the standing position followed by a full twist from the feet, he exceeds the authorized number of jumps with 3 jumps. The P2 exercise requires a half twist more than the P1. The participant conducts a full twist into the sitting position and then a half twist into the standing position. Alternatively, he can conduct a half twist into the sitting position and a full twist into the standing position. It's exceedingly difficult to incorporate the full 1.5 twists into one jump. This is why there are only 2 feasible solutions here. The P3 exercise requires a new kind of landing, the back landing. The most obvious approach is a back drop followed by a jump into the standing position. But many participants find it easier to incorporate another half twist into the final jump. This add-on is permitted. As we've already seen in the P1 exercise, an individual landing style can be combined with twists. The P4 demands a back landing and a full twist in total. There are also 3 possibilities here. The simplest solution is a half twist onto the back, followed by a half twist into the standing position. Participants who are not as confident performing backdrops often opt for a backdrop without twist and try to incorporate a full twist into the jump into the standing position. The most elegant solution is the full twist onto the back followed by a jump into the standing position. The most widespread competitive form is the individual competition. This involves a series of 10 jumps without intermediary jumps. The compulsory exercise P3 is the easiest 10-part exercise. It comprises basic jumps such as the tuck and straddle, variations on the seat drop and a half twist from the feet. The straight extension jump at the end is not required, but can be carried out. In the compilation of individual 10-part exercises, it's important to remember that getting up after a landing in the seated, front or back position is also appraised as a jump. Accordingly, the combination seat drop, jump into the standing position is appraised as 2 jumps. The participant shows the compulsory exercise P4. At the start of a competitive exercise, the competitor greets the panel of judges. Once the exercise has been completed, regardless of whether it's been successful or not, the competitor then takes his leave of the judging panel. A complete competitive exercise should therefore be conducted in the manner shown here in the compulsory exercise P3. In synchronized trampolining, participants are required to carry out an additional demand. Here, it's not just a question of mastering their own moves, they must also be in tune with their partner. The most important criterion is the simultaneous landing on the trampoline bed. Both participants must adopt a similar rhythm right from the outset. Without a carefully rehearsed takeoff procedure, neither participant knows when the jumping should begin, and the first jump is therefore irregular. One of the participants must adopt a leading role in any starting procedure. The exercise must begin by both partners at the same time. This is not possible without an audible starting signal, and the moves begin at different times. Participants usually count to 3, although the landing is always counted. One of the partners calls out the number 1, and as a signal that he is also ready to begin, the other partner calls out the number 2. If neither participant signals that he wants to abort the exercise, then it begins on the count of 3. The exercise is terminated at the point where one of the partners does not adhere to the agreed series of jumps and carries out a different jump. This is especially evident in jumps incorporating half twists. Even if the difference is just a half twist, the exercise is regarded as finished. Not all participants twist in the same direction. In our case, participants are twisting in the same direction. Differing twist directions are, however, permitted in competition. Just as in individual competition, synchronized competition also requires competitors to greet and take their leave of the judging panel after the exercise.